Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to play with my mind, my ideas today. My name is Gretchen Vogel. I have worked in trance as both a medium and a channel for more than 4 decades. I'm the author of 3 books. Everything I present on this channel is a derivative of my own work. I'm always delighted when I see similarities in other people's work. This is the second installment in creating reality. Now, I do have earbuds in, and I'm going to speak from the original meditation from time to time in this video. I have to say that in 1988, I did not understand the material. And so I was incredibly excited when I picked it up and read it recently, and I thought, wow, this is really amazing. And I have to say that I did follow Jerry and Esther Hicks and Abraham for a very long time. Um, and I love how some of this information dovetails with theirs. So let's get started on another piece of the puzzle of creating reality. So hang on, we're waiting for the information to start. Oh, the theme is focus of energy in this particular one. When any energy is focused, it brings with it its own power because of the focus. When energy is channeled into any specific action, manifestation, even distraction or neurosis, when energy is focused on anything by any other thing, sentient or even what we think of as inert, for example, sand dunes, that energy focus narrows the flow of energy by constricting. Constriction is the definition of focus. For example, if you take a certain amount of water representing energy and put it in a funnel, the funnel narrows and confines the water. It focuses the flow of the water or constricts the flow of the water. The water has a certain energy value in the upper part of the funnel, even in its movement down the neck of the funnel. But once it comes out the bottom end of the funnel, it is moving with much more speed and momentum, what we would think of as energy. So when you, in any event, take any energy and narrow its capacity or range of motion, you accelerate the energy into a point of focus. And in that narrowing, that limiting, that confining, much more energizing takes place. So let's think of our own walking, waking existence. If you understand you are God source energy, you are species energy, you are your individual personalities energy, and perhaps even energy based on other lifetimes merged with the focus of birth. When we come into physical, that resulting force of that focus is greater in manifestation in physical than it is in any of the higher states we might have been participating in before we were born or after physical experience, because now it is focused into physical materialization. Now, this is not to say that the energy is more or greater in quantity than it was before it was focused. Before, it was just in a more diffused or ambiguous state before our focus into physical. So the more narrowly that energy is defined, the more potential it has. Now, we'll see a lot of metaphors for this in our physical world in terms of compression of matter, ultimately being the force that can explode stars. There are a lot of physical metaphors for this phenomena, but it is true of the less tangible energies also. That's why someone who is out of body has less energy than someone who is still in the more narrow, confined focus of being in a body. However, before birth even adds a more diffused personality individual, we must work with that more diffuse energy and have to learn how to direct or focus our will in order to be born. But let's get back to life. So when you're in life and you want to express an action, let's just say an arbitrary action, say getting up and walking across the room, that energy or will in the plan to get up and walk across the room, that drive that initiates the act, carries it through to completion. The will is focused to carry out that action. Now, there are some people who are depressed or maybe neurotic who don't have a lot of will to get up and walk across the room. I mean, we've all been there, right? And so that will stays in a very diffuse state. Now, I've experienced this when I was very ill. And so we all possess the potential will to accomplish the living tasks that we have to accomplish every day, obtaining food and shelter, eating food, maintaining the shelter and the body. These are the living tasks. The will to do these things are more inherent in our mechanism than the will to go beyond the basic needs of the self. Say, let's take a mundane example. Even a hobby or a pleasurable activity takes a certain amount of will or focus for the individual to want to participate in it and to participate in. Now, some people possess great will as individuals, but most people coalesce the will toward action much more effectively in groups. This is true for most species. The combined effort of several people willing a certain action to happen is easier than if all the single individuals were trying to accomplish that action in some form or fashion on their own. There is a saying that two people can do the work of four. It is not just that there are two more sets of hands, but it is the synergistic effect, the combined will of more than two people, the will of the focus to enact that action is greater than the physical abilities of the people combined. It is the combination of the force of will to enact that goal. Now, we've seen this in families. It works so much better for the individuals to be in a family than if they were on their own. People who are alone, say people who unfortunately might live on the streets, they might have a very singular existence. They are living in perhaps a very diffuse state of will. So they may not focus their will terribly well because they're not being affected by the combination of other individuals who are united in the same goals as they are. And this is why we're able to accomplish great things in a group. Now, certain individuals know how to focus their willpower as an individual, but this is more the exceptional person who can focus great will as an individual person. The norm is more that the combination of will is better to accomplish a mutually desired task. So in our walking, waking life, whenever we can find a person with the same goals as we have, not even necessarily to help us in a physical way, just to encourage us with their belief or willpower, and add that into our proposed action, the task becomes easier to carry out because of the combination of will. Now, in 1988, my mother-in-law was a very individually motivated person, and she added her will to almost everybody around her. And Meme actually came up in this meditation because I had asked before I started this meditation, because in a line when I was doing mediumship with her, she told me we can absolutely do or be or have anything we want. And I've always really wanted to understand what she said, but I think we're going to stop this little piece of the puzzle now, and then we'll add the next piece in another video. So thank you for coming, and thank you for your time. And, you know, I'm recording these in March of 2020, when our whole world is turned upside down. There's unbelievable suffering and fear in Ukraine that is affecting us globally. I really feel that this is going to pull everybody together. But in relation to this information that I just conveyed from this meditation, if you look at it, the leader of Russia is completely alone in this. The Ukrainian people are completely united, defending their country. The globe, globally, I pray, will come to the aid of Ukraine. But it is all of us directing the will for no more war and peace that I hope creates this. So thank you, and we'll be back soon with another piece. Please like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend if you think they'd be interested. And I did break this meditation down into small bites. So we'll have another bite of the pie very soon. Thank you so much.